Lady Gaga left a London hotel recently with the bathtub covered in blood. Now, a maid found the mess and reported the news to the paper.
Hey Fanatics! Did you know that Lina Morgana, who fell from a roof straight to her death, was very close to Lady Gaga? And that 2 weeks after she died, Lady Gaga's career took off, while she suddenly looked eerily similar to Morgana, like Gaga had absorbed her soul or something. Did you also know that Lina actually might have been pushed off the roof and that sources claim Gaga might have something to do with it? Lina Morgana once had dreams of a music career in Hollywood, but little did she know this dream would take her life. She started working with top producers and labels in hopes of becoming a star. Her producer, Rob, brought in Lady Gaga to help her. However, in 2007, everything changed when Lady Gaga began dating Rob, taking his attention away from Lina. This derailment ended Lina's music journey, while Lady Gaga's star continued to rise. She achieved this by showing Lina's work as her own.
Wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay when.
While Lina herself tragically passed away at 19 under mysterious circumstances. Lina Morgana's story is a hot topic in the darker corners of the internet. There are plenty of conspiracy theories surrounding her death in October 2008, which conveniently aligns with Lady Gaga's rise to fame that year. Lina, born in January 1989, was a radiant up-and-coming star, a singer and songwriter with a voice and attitude like no other.
I keep on falling
Despite her passing at the young age of 19, she left behind a collection of music and an undeniable talent. But where does Lady Gaga come into all this? You'll be shocked at the details of this story. When these two first met, Lina was already making waves in her career, and Lady Gaga was meant to play a supporting role, perhaps as a backup dancer or in a smaller capacity. Throughout this story, you'll keep on hearing one name, Rob Fusari, the producer who worked with both Lina and Gaga, bringing them together in 2007.
More from the body and a little more like sporadic, less singy. You know what I'm saying? And you should see my hair when it's done and curled.
Rob acted as the link between these two artists as they collaborated on music, even producing songs together. Reports suggest they may have penned anywhere from 10 to 12 tracks, almost enough for an entire album. However, something changed between 2007 and 2008. Rob had been heavily involved with Lina, but once Lady Gaga entered the picture, the focus seemed to shift toward her, despite her initial small role. What's suspicious is that Gaga and her team claim to have no idea who Lina was, which sounds crazy given their collaboration and shared work. She once claimed she barely knew Lina Morgana, despite their extensive musical history, having collaborated on around 12 songs. Now, interestingly, Rob Fusari, Gaga's former producer and boyfriend, was a key figure in both their lives. He and Gaga were in a relationship while working with Lina, and years later, amidst a feud with Gaga, he threatened to leak their old songs. In his public outbursts, Rob brought up Lina and accused Gaga of copying her. This drama resurfaced once again as Rob planned to release unreleased tracks from Gaga's early days, leading to legal battles. Even Lina's mother jumped into the mix and accused Gaga of copying her daughter's style. On top of all that, the resemblance between Lina and Gaga, along with all the similarities in their hairstyles and music videos, at least make you think that Gaga was greatly inspired by Lina. Some even suggest Gaga was working in Lina's shadow during her early career, as they shared producers, record labels, and a close relationship with Rob. There's even a photo of Lina and Gaga wearing a red hood, a motif from one of Lina's music videos that Gaga later incorporated into her own work. There's also a scene in Gaga's paparazzi video where she can be seen wearing a corset similar to one Lina wore, and that is something I found extremely creepy. There are also claims that Lady Gaga borrowed ideas from Lina's Far Away music video for her own Just Dance video, including a bathtub scene and the concept of bubbles, later used in Gaga's bubble dress for stage performances. We have even compared their makeup looks side by side, and the similarities are just insane. If you look at Gaga's sunflower dress in her Alejandro music video, it clearly draws connections to sunflowers mentioned in Lina's Far Away video. Wigs, feathers, and extravagant fashion choices Gaga was seen sporting were all styles Lina was known for. Some conspiracy theorists go as far as to suggest that Gaga's The Fame Monster album was actually a depiction of Lina. Now, Lina's music had a distinct early 2000s sound that resonated with many, myself included. Some of her songs have become personal favorites since researching for this video. But before delving into deeper conspiracies and the eerie connections to Gaga's paparazzi video, let's touch on Lina's tragic passing. At the time, it seemed like her career was on the upswing, with plans to sign with a major record label and a potential MTV documentary series in the works. However, these opportunities never materialized. There is limited information available about this period, but it's clear there was a shift in focus towards Gaga's career around 2007-2008, which likely took a toll on Lina. Feeling off after the MTV deal fell through, Lina found herself on a Staten Island television show called Who Do You Like TV, where she crossed paths with a band called Sister Venus. Given that this girl was insanely talented, they recruited her as their lead singer. She ended up working with them for a few months before her untimely death. It was clear that Lina found some joy in performing with Sister Venus, but it was also visible that she was struggling in some way. In a video clip from 2008, she appears visibly uncomfortable, avoiding the camera and seeming unhappy. And then came the news of her extremely bizarre passing. An article from October 4th, 2008 reported a woman in her 20s jumping from the roof of a Staten Island hotel early in the morning. She was alive when taken to the hospital, but in bad condition, and her identity wasn't initially revealed. Witnesses claimed she seemed to be dancing or exercising on the roof before jumping. The hotel had 10 floors, and there were even reports suggesting she may have been pushed off. And what's really interesting is the presence of several witnesses suggesting there may be more to the story. It was reported that she leaped off the building in front of friends, which is an act that seems suspicious and doesn't align with normal behavior. But there are conflicting accounts surrounding Lina's death. One claims she was dancing and having fun before tragically hurling herself off the roof. However, another perspective came to light when Stephanie was vying to be a backup dancer at the time, got her big break as Lady Gaga just 2 weeks later. As Gaga gained fame, people began scrutinizing her past, including her connection to Lina, raising questions about whether she had a hand in Lina's tragic passing, especially given their close relationship, despite Gaga's claims of barely knowing her. However, it's a bit confusing as Gaga was apparently in Los Angeles preparing to film her Poker Face video and later opening for New Kids on the Block in Ibiza at the time of Lina's death. At least that's what they say. In the end, Lina's death was deemed a wrongful death, suggesting that foul play may have been involved. But some continue to believe that Lina's death was just a tragic accident, with suggestions that she took her own life. However, in September 2015, a legal ruling in the Supreme Court shed new light on the case. Initially listed as a wrongful death, it was later determined that the hotel where the incident occurred was at fault for not having adequate safety measures in place to prevent falls from such heights. Although details about this ruling are scarce, a few articles reported on its impact on the case's classification. But let me tell you why this case is extremely shady. Lady Gaga's silence on Lina's death. That is literally it. Gaga has remained publicly mum on the matter, but we believe she addressed it symbolically through her music, particularly in her Paparazzi music video. Released a year after Lina's passing, the video is seen by many as an homage or acknowledgement of Lina's tragic fate. The video's opening scene, where Gaga is thrown off a balcony, mirrors Lina's passing, although her death was reportedly self-inflicted. On top of that, the newspaper headline Lady No More Gaga has been interpreted by some as a play on words, suggesting Lady No More Morgana, implying Lina was no longer going to be Lady Gaga. The video itself is filled with symbolism, with scenes depicting struggles with suicide and even imagery reminiscent of Lina's style, leading some to speculate on darker interpretations involving Gaga somehow absorbing Lina's soul. Could this be true? Could Lady Gaga have taken Lina's life to absorb her talent and advance her own career? Lina's mother, Lina Morgana, thinks so. She went public with claims of their close working relationship in 2007, which she later reiterated in a since-deleted interview. Lina claimed that Lady Gaga held Lina's soul and expressed a desire for her daughter's soul to be free. These accusations gained traction after Lady Gaga's re-release of The Fame as The Fame Monster. Lina even accused Lady Gaga of stealing her daughter's work, sparking one of the earliest conspiracy theories surrounding the situation. She took her claims to TMZ in September 2010, coincidentally on 9 9/11, adding to the creepy air around this topic. But to this day, this case remains cold. It's widely believed that celebrities like Lady Gaga have alter egos controlled by spirits or programming, and if that's true, who knows what role she may have played in Lina's death. What do you think? Do you think Lady Gaga has something to do with Lina Morgana's death? And if Lina Morgana would still be alive today, do you think Lady Gaga would still be Lady Gaga? Feel free to comment below and we'll catch you in the next video.